So there were a lot of people that were watching Raw and taking things that were said during the broadcast and thought that it was meaning something. And that was that apparently, which I didn't even pay attention to, but the Twitter viewers were claiming that the word beast was said multiple times during Raw,
Oh,
and that somehow indicated that they were teasing the return of Brock Lesnar. So, my favorite thing this week is that that's not true.
yeah. Okay.
So, at least according to credible dirt sheets, and their sources and whatnot, there is no change with WWE's stance on using Lesnar. There are no storylines, feuds, nothing that they are actively working on that include him. And I guess it's like that's my rosebud. I have a different lemon, but I feel like part of the lemon of this is that it's kind of wild to me that people are so quick to forget that Lesnar is involved in this lawsuit
Yeah,
with
no.
Vince. And so
Short memory.
it's so odd to me that people feel so passionate against Vince, rightfully so, right? And they don't want to see him again. They don't want to hear his name. Like none of that. They're like, they're so glad he's
They're done.
gone. But then I'm not saying that, Lesnar hasn't been accused of nearly the same amount or the same things, but he is still allegedly involved in this whole thing. So why aren't we using that same energy for Lesnar? Like, why are you excusing whatever his involvement was because you want to see him versus Gunther or you want to see him versus Braun Breaker? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah,
Like, how have we not moved past this yet?
it's wild to me that people forget about that because there are real life implications and shit going on. To me, from the wrestling perspective, obviously, the when Brock Lesnar was brought back, it felt like it was the old regime trying to bring him back because they needed him. They
Mm-hmm.
needed to bring Brock Lesnar back
Mm-hmm.
because they need a star, or whatever reason you want to give. But pretty much it comes down to they needed him to come back. You would need him to put over somebody. You need
Mm-hmm.
him to go up against this guy to legitimize this guy. You don't need that right now. There's no
Well,
need for him. We have Bronson Reed. We have Braun Strowman. I mean, I it's a ha, but Otis is kind of cool right now. There's an avenue you can go with him. Like there's so many different beasts on the rosters right now that there's no need to bring back a Brock Lesnar or him himself.
well, I also think that his last run against Cody, like that's quite a way to just hang it up. Like that's a
It was
good
awesome.
way. Like that
Awesome.
was solid, great feud, whatever. Let's just end it there. Like if that's the last that we see of Brock Lesnar, then so be it. At least he went out on a high, and it wasn't like, oh God, we have to see this again. Like people were actually excited to see Lesnar versus Cody and like what he did after the match by like putting Cody over and stuff. So I'm like, if that's the end of what we see with Lesnar and WWE, then fine. But I feel like we've had plenty of time to accept this. And the fact that we're still trying to look for clues, it's like, no. And the beast word does not just go to Lesnar. Like when I hear that, my mind doesn't automatically go to Lesnar, but I think it's more so that people are looking for things, and so
They're
they're
looking for signs.
yeah. So when they hear something that they can twist into being a clue, that's what we're going with. But no, I'm just glad that we're not. It's not happening. So